Welcome back to the deep dive. You know that feeling, right? You've got this great new idea, something you're really excited about launching, and then boom, the question hits. Okay, but what's the best tool? What's the best platform?
Yeah, it's almost paralyzing sometimes, especially with so many options out there.
Exactly. And today, we're diving into that exact question for a business model that's just, well, exploded. Print on demand.
DoD, yeah. It's everywhere.
It really is. So we spent a good amount of time wading through a whole stack of sources, articles, expert takes, research, trying to cut through all the noise.
To find that magic answer.
Well, kind of the opposite, actually. Okay, let's unpack this. What we found is when it comes to print on demand, there really isn't one single best platform.
Ah, the classic, it depends.
Totally. It's all about matching the platform to your specific goals. It's like asking, is a sports car better or is an off-road truck better?
Right, depends if you're going to the racetrack or deep into the mountains.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
And your business goals, just like travel plans, can be completely different from someone else's.
That's such a great analogy. And what's fascinating here is how often people do look for that one-size-fits-all solution. But the sources we looked at really emphasize personalization, understanding what you want to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
So just to be clear, this deep dive today, it's not about us endorsing any specific platform.
No, not at all.
It's about exploring, let's say, 5 really common goals that new business owners have in this space. And then we'll connect those goals to the platforms that seem to support them best based on the material we've reviewed, helping you make an informed choice.
Perfect. So let's kick things off with probably the biggest draw for a lot of new folks, starting a print-on-demand business for absolutely free.
0 upfront cost. That's the dream for many.
It really is, especially if you want to test the waters or generate income without digging into savings. And the good news is our sources show you there are actually quite a few ways to do this.
Okay, like what?
Well, first, you've got the user-generated marketplaces. These are genuinely 100% free to get started on.
We're talking places like Redbubble, Cafe Press.
Exactly. Redbubble, Cafe Press, TeePublic, Zazzle, those kinds of sites. The process is super simple. You just, create a free account, upload your designs, could be pictures, slogans, whatever.
Right.
Then you use their tools, which are usually pretty intuitive, to place the design on different products, shirts, mugs, phone cases.
All the standard stuff.
Yeah. And then you just submit it. It goes live, often almost immediately. No big review process, no waiting around.
And the muddy part, how does that work if it's free?
So take Redbubble as an example. They handle everything else: production, packing the order, shipping it to the customer, all of it.
Right.
When a customer buys, Redbubble takes the payment, deducts their costs for making and shipping the item, and then they pay you a commission. You never have to pay anything up front, ever.
So it's genuinely risk-free from a cost perspective?
Totally. Then you've got Amazon Merch. Now, Amazon usually has, seller fees and a pretty complex structure.
Oh, yeah.
But their print-on-demand service, Merch on Demand, is actually an exception. It's free to set up an account and list your products there, too.
Interesting. I didn't realize that part was free.
Yeah, it's a bit different. The process is similar, though. Upload your design, pick a product like a t-shirt, create the listing. Amazon handles fulfillment, pays you a commission.
Got it. Any others in the totally free camp?
Teespring, now known as Spring, is another one. They let you set up your own kind of POD shop for free. Again, you design, you set the price, they handle production, shipping, take their cut, and pay you the rest.
Okay, so several solid free options there.
Definitely. And then there's what we've kind of dubbed the almost free strategy. This involves using Etsy combined with a service like Printful or Printify.
Ah, okay. How does that work? Because Etsy has listing fees, doesn't it?
Setting up the seller account on Etsy is free, and connecting the Printful or Printify app is also free. The key thing to remember is Printful and Printify aren't stores themselves.
Right. They're the fulfillment partners. They need to plug into something else like Etsy or Shopify.
Exactly. So here's how the almost free part works. A customer buys your, say, $23 t-shirt on Etsy. Etsy collects the money. But you then have to pay Printify or Printful upfront to make the shirt. Let's say that costs you $12.55.
Okay, so you do need cash flow there initially.
Right. But here's the trick, the credit card trick some sources mentioned. Many credit cards give you, 30, maybe 45 days interest-free.
That grace period.
So you printify that $12.55 on your credit card. The customer's payment from Etsy usually clears into your bank account within about a week or so.
Well, within the grace period.
Exactly. So you use the customer's money that just landed in your account to pay off the credit card charge before any interest hits. Effectively, you've floated the production costs for free.
That's clever. Very clever. But it does raise an important question, doesn't it? Is it truly free if it hinges on having a credit card and managing that cash flow carefully?
That's a fair point. It minimizes the initial cash needed, but yeah, there's definitely a layer of financial management involved.
Yeah.
If a payment gets delayed or you mess up the timing.
You could end up paying interest. So it's not quite as straightforwardly free as, say, Redbubble. That detail's crucial for listeners planning this out.
Absolutely. Needs a bit of financial savvy. So, bottom line, if starting for free is your main goal, you've got choices. From totally free marketplaces to this Etsy Printify credit card method. And you can often list designs on multiple platforms, too. Just always check their specific rules first.
Good advice.
Okay, moving on. Another huge goal we saw pop up in the sources is starting a POD business that requires basically no marketing.
For the folks who just
Yeah.
really don't enjoy that side of things, the promotion, the ads.
Exactly. Some people love creating, hate selling. And for them, this next part is key because here's where it gets really interesting. There's a massive difference in the built-in traffic these platforms offer.
Okay, lay it out for us. Who brings the eyeballs?
If you want to avoid marketing, the path of least resistance is picking a platform that's already a giant magnet for buyers, a place people already go to shop.
Makes sense.
And the undisputed king here is Amazon. Billions with a B of visitors every month. It's the biggest e-commerce site on the planet.
Can't argue with those numbers.
Nope. Then you have Etsy, still incredibly popular, drawing hundreds of millions of visitors monthly. And the sources pointed out something interesting. Successful Etsy shops often pull in thousands a month.
Thousands, okay.
Compared to successful Redbubble shops, which the sources suggested are more typically in the hundreds per month range. Still good,
Yeah.
but a different scale.
Got it. And Redbubble itself.
Redbubble is still significant. Tens of millions of visitors monthly. Definitely a major player with its own audience.
So Amazon, Etsy, Redbubble, they all bring their own traffic to the table.
Right. But then you look at Teespring or Spring, they get maybe around 7 million visitors a month, which sounds like a lot, but here's the catch. Most of that traffic, it's coming from users advertising their own Teespring stores elsewhere, like on social media.
So Teespring itself isn't driving as much organic discovery traffic to the stores.
Exactly. The sources used a great example, like Engineer Meme's Facebook page, starting a Teespring store and then promoting it heavily to their own Facebook audience. The traffic came from the page's own marketing efforts, not inherently from Teespring.
Okay, and that highlights a really critical implication then. If your goal is specifically to avoid marketing.
Teespring is probably not your best bet.
Right, because you're largely on the hook for driving your own traffic there. It seems like if we connect this to the bigger picture, these platforms represent a spectrum. You've got full marketing support baked in at one end and almost complete self-reliance at the other.
That's a perfect way to put it. Your choice really depends on where you want to sit on that spectrum, and frankly, how much you enjoy or really dislike the whole marketing game.
Makes perfect sense.
Okay, so let's shift gears now. We've talked free starts, we've talked avoiding marketing. Now let's get into a goal that often conflicts a bit with those first two. Making the most money per sale.
Profit maximization, always a key factor.
Right. And this is where that trade-off really comes into play. Those marketplaces like Redbubble and Amazon, the reason they can offer that free start and handle all the marketing
Is because they take a bigger slice of the pie.
Precisely. They provide a ton of services, advertising, running the website, customer service, handling the actual printing and shipping. Covering all those costs means their fees are higher, leaving you with a smaller commission.
So what kind of numbers are we talking about?
Well, just as an example from the sources, say you sell a t-shirt on Redbubble for $20. After Redbubble takes its cut for production, shipping, and platform fees, which could be around $17, you might only end up with about $3 in commission.
$3 out of 20.
Okay, on Amazon merch, that same $20 t-shirt might leave you with a bit more, maybe around $5 commission, after roughly $15 in fees.
Still $5 from a $20 sale. It's important to put those numbers in context, though, right?
How so?
Well, those fees aren't just profit for the platform. They largely cover the marketing costs needed to get the customer to your product in the first place. Marketing is usually the single biggest expense for any business.
True. Customer acquisition is expensive.
Exactly. Plus the website infrastructure, payment processing, customer support, all of that. An 18% profit margin, which is roughly what that $35 represents on a $20 item before you factor in your design time, is actually considered pretty average or even decent in many retail sectors, especially when someone else is handling almost all the operational heavy lifting.
That's a really important perspective. Those fees are buying you out of a lot of headaches and costs you'd otherwise incur yourself.
Precisely. But still, if your primary goal is maximizing the dollar amount you make on each individual item sold,
Then seeing only $3 or $5 can feel limiting. So what's the alternative if you want higher profit margins?
the alternative route discussed is setting up your own e-commerce website.
Yeah.
Using a platform like Shopify, for instance, and then integrating with a print provider like Printful or Printify.
Okay, so you run your own shop.
Exactly. Now, the profit model looks very different. If you sell that same t-shirt for $20 in your own store, plus charge the customer for shipping, Printify might charge you, say, around $8 to produce and ship the shirt.
Okay.
That leaves you with about $12 profit on that $20 sale, significantly higher than the $3 or $5 from the marketplaces.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big jump. But the catch is,
Catch is you are now responsible for the marketing. You have to drive the traffic to your store. The source is mentioned using free methods like Google SEO, search engine optimization,
right, getting your store to show up in search results.
which takes time and effort.
Yeah.
Or you pay for ads yourself.
Yeah.
That higher profit comes because you're doing the marketing legwork, not paying the marketplace to do it via their fees.
Makes sense. You trade convenience for profit potential. And there's another advantage too, right? Pricing power.
Absolutely. When you sell on your own site, you have much more control over your pricing. You could potentially charge $25, maybe even $30 for that same t-shirt,
Why would people pay more?
because they're not seeing it right next to 10 other similar shirts priced lower on a marketplace like Redbubble, where customer expectations are often geared towards finding bargains. In your store, they're there for your brand, your designs. You set the perceived value.
Got it. Less direct price competition on the same page.
Exactly.
Okay, this leads nicely into our fourth goal. Finding a platform that offers the most freedom and flexibility, control over your own destiny, so to speak.
Yeah, this is a big one for entrepreneurs who value independence.
And the sources really highlighted a key difference here. When you sell on third-party platforms, Etsy, Redbubble, Amazon, you're playing in their sandbox.
Meaning you have to follow their rules.
Exactly, their rules dilemma. And those rules can be strict, and sometimes they can change without much warning. Amazon, for example, we already mentioned it's free, but getting accepted into Amazon merch can be tough. They have a strict application process.
Not everyone gets in.
Right, and even if you do, they can limit how many designs you upload, especially at first. And accounts can get restricted or even suspended, sometimes for reasons that aren't immediately clear. The sources referenced a video case study showing just how easily that can happen.
Oof. That sounds stressful. What about Etsy?
Etsy has its own set of challenges. We hear quite often about sellers getting banned. Sometimes it's related to payment processor rules, which can be quite complex. And sometimes, apparently, those bans are even made in error.
You get unbanned.
Often, yes. The sources mention that appealing bans can frequently get them overturned, but still, having your shop shut down, even temporarily, is a major disruption and a huge source of stress.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? It basically means you're trading a lot of convenience, the built-in traffic, the handled logistics for being subject to their algorithms, their policies, their decisions.
You're essentially building your business on rented land. They own the land, they make the rules.
Well put. So what's the alternative for maximum freedom?
If freedom and flexibility are really your top priorities, then the consensus from the sources is clear. Opening your own store on your own domain name, using a platform like Shopify, that gives you the most control.
Because it's your store, your rules,
Right.
within the law, obviously.
Exactly. As long as what you're selling is legal, you have far more latitude. The sources use a pretty provocative example, actually.
Who tell?
Redbubble, for instance, explicitly bans pornography. Even like artistic nude stuff sometimes. Pretty strict content policies. But with your own Shopify store, you have much more freedom. While not every single payment processor would handle adult content, Shopify integrates with various processors that do support niches like that. It gives you ultimate control over your brand's expression and your product range without a marketplace dictating what's acceptable.
That's a really stark illustration of the difference in control. Maximum freedom definitely points towards having your own site.
It really does. Okay, final goal. Let's dive into goal number 5. Consistently selling high-quality products.
Ah, yes, product quality. Crucial for brand reputation and repeat business for many sellers.
Absolutely. If you're an artist putting your work out there or building a brand, you want the physical product to reflect well on you.
Makes sense. So how do the platforms stack up here?
Well, this is another area with significant trade-offs, especially with some of the marketplace options. Take Redbubble again. How do they offer low prices, handle everything, and still give you a commission?
By cutting costs somewhere.
Likely, yes. One way they seem to do this is by outsourcing the actual printing and shipping to various third-party factories. And the sources indicate these are often undisclosed.
Meaning you don't know exactly who is printing your customer's order.
Correct. You have basically no direct quality control, no insight into which specific facility prints and ships that t-shirt with your design on it.
And does that impact quality?
It seems it can. One source specifically mentioned a video review where a Redbubble shirt arrived with kind of washed out colors and lines that weren't very sharp. Similar issues were noted for Teespring, which apparently gets consistently poor reviews regarding print quality.
Yikes. So it could be hit or miss depending on which factory gets the order.
Potentially, yeah. If you pride yourself on crisp, vibrant designs, that lack of control and consistency could be a real issue. You're kind of rolling the dice on the final product quality.
Right. It's like ordering a meal from a restaurant with multiple kitchens. You hope they're all following the same recipe, but you can't be sure. So this raises an important question about your brand values and who your target customer actually is.
How so?
Well, while some brands and artists absolutely must have top-tier quality, the truth is not all consumers prioritize it to the same degree. Understanding your specific audience is key here.
So where can you get better quality control if that's important to you?
Platforms like Trinify offer a solution. They allow you to choose specific print providers from within their network.
Oh, so you can pick the factory?
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
You can research different print shops they partner with, like, say, Monster Digital, which is also known as TSC Miami. Check their reviews, see their product specs,
Yeah.
and crucially,
Let me guess. Order samples.
exactly, you can order samples directly from the print shop you're considering before you ever offer that product to your customers. That gives you a huge degree of control over the final print quality.
That sounds much better for quality assurance. Any others?
Amazon merch generally gets good marks for quality because they print their stuff in-house, so there's consistency there. And Printful is similar. They primarily use their own in-house printing facilities, which also leads to reliable, consistent quality.
Okay, so Printify, by choosing your printer, Amazon Merch and Printful seem to be the go-to options if consistent high quality is a top priority.
It seems that way based on the sources, and it really comes back to alignment. Let's take Redbubble again. Their main audience often skews younger teens, 20-somethings.
Right.
For many of them, the appeal is the cool, unique art, the low price point, maybe the fun browsing experience. Premium top-tier garment quality might be less important than getting a cool design they love affordably.
So for that audience, Redbubble's model works perfectly fine, even if the print isn't museum quality.
Exactly. They can be very happy repeat customers because the platform delivers what they value. There's genuinely no single right or wrong here. It's all about matching your platform choice to your business goals, your brand identity, and just as importantly, your customers' expectations.
Wow, okay, what a deep dive today. We've covered a ton of ground from free starts to quality control.
We really have.
So just to kind of bring it all together, that overarching message seems crystal clear. The best print-on-demand platform. It's not one thing. It's dynamic. It's shaped entirely by your specific goals. Whether that's starting with zero cash, avoiding marketing like the plague, squeezing out the most profit per item, wanting total freedom, or ensuring top-notch quality, your goal dictates your best choice.
And that really is the core takeaway, isn't it? No single website, no single app can be all things to all people. They aren't inherently good or bad.
Right.
They're just different, offering different strengths, serving different types of businesses, and catering to different customers who value different things. It's about finding the tool that fits your specific needs.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? Well, we hope it means you can step back and really think about your priorities. What matters most to you right now?
You might even need to weigh a couple of goals against each other. Maybe you want free and no marketing that points you one way. Maybe you want max profit and quality that points another way.
Exactly. You might need to cross-reference these goals to find the sweet spot for your vision. And here's a final thought to chew on as you consider starting or growing your POD business.
Go on.
How might your priorities shift over time? As your brand grows, as your audience changes, as maybe even your definition of success evolves, what seems like the best platform for you today might look quite different a year or two down the road.
That's a great point. Business isn't static. Your needs change.
For sure. Well, thank you for joining us on the deep dive. We really hope this exploration has armed you with the clarity you need to make the right choice for your print-on-demand journey.
Hope it was helpful.
We'll catch you next time.